right. So hello guys, live on YouTube and live on Instagram at the same time. How are you? All right, some people are joining. If you want to tell me where you're watching this from, that would be amazing. Where are you guys watching this from? I'm in Brisbane, Australia. Where are you guys watching this from? Cool. All right. Nice. Cool. All right. People are a little bit shy today, but it's okay. All right. So when you can tell me where you're watching this from. All right. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Fabi. I'm an English teacher and I help people who would like to study, work, and or live abroad get the score they need on the IELTS test and do the test only once. No one should be doing the IELTS test more than once. Okay, guys? And here with the IELTS Journey with Fabi, okay, I share strategies that will help you achieve your goals. All right, okay. So we have Colombia. Yeah, so Colombia is usually the most popular place. All right. So, so guys, yeah, if you want to tell me where you're watching this from, that would be amazing because I love to know where you guys are at in the world, where you're at in the world. Cool. Now, today, okay, we're going to talk about something that happens quite often to me. Okay. So, quite often, I get a message either through WhatsApp or I get a message through Instagram, Facebook. Okay. And in these messages, people are asking for help, okay, for the IELTS test. And okay, someone from Brazil. Cool. So I have Colombia and Brazil. Okay, guys, keep telling me where you're watching from, okay? I like to know. All right. So as I was saying, I often get this message. Okay, Fabi, can you help me with the test? And I'll say, yes, of course. And then I ask them, when are you doing the test? And people say, in 2 weeks. Okay, in 2 weeks. And then I think to myself, And then I ask the normal questions, what score do you need? Are you doing academic or general? Is your first time doing the test? Okay. And all these questions, they help me help the person. Okay. But the thing is, most of the time, 2 weeks is not enough. Okay. But it's funny how a lot of people get in touch last minute. Okay. And today, I'm going to share with you some of the reasons why people are doing this. Okay. And basically, what you shouldn't be doing. Okay, guys. So, so yeah, because 2 weeks is not enough time, especially if you're working. Okay. Especially if you have a busy life, it is not enough to go ahead and do the IELTS test. Okay, guys. 2 weeks, not enough, in my opinion. Okay. So, when you're ready, maybe you can tell me when you're thinking about doing your test. That'd be nice. Please don't say 2 weeks. All right, guys. So, yeah. So, let's get started. Okay, let me tell a little bit. Okay. So, um, one of the main reasons why I decided to talk about this topic is because usually the people who decide to do the test and book the test and do the test very soon, they usually, I'm not going to say always, but they usually don't get the score the first try. That's why I decided to talk to you guys about this today. Okay. Because sometimes what I see a lot of people doing is they know they have to do the test. So someone goes and tells them, hey, can you need the IELTS test, right? And the person will go, okay, fine. And then the person will book the test. Okay. And then after booking the test, because that's the first thing you do, right? You book the test. And then after they book the test, they say they go online and start doing research. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna study for the test online. And they go to YouTube, let's say. And then they start watching videos and watching videos. And instead of helping them, maybe they get even more confused, right? And then they go, okay, maybe I'm gonna try the test. And they just can't finish the reading, let's say. And then they freak out. And that's when I get the call or a message. Okay. So I'm here today to let you know that this is not the best way. Okay, guys. And I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, why really? Because we need to improve that. Okay. One of the reasons I think that people do that is because they are not aware of what the test is like, right? They just go ahead and they book the test and they go, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it. Okay. So they don't know the test well. All right. So, for example, uh, people say, oh, it's a test. Oh, someone said hello there. It's an English test. Okay, fine. And I can understand sometimes the people who want to try just to see what it's like. I can understand that. But it's a very, sorry, it's a very expensive test. Very expensive. Okay. I think we were talking about it last week, I think. It costs around $400. Here in Australia, it's $400. But I think some people are saying 500. It depends on your currency, of course, and how much it is in your country, of course. But if you just do it without knowing what's going to happen, you're going to lose a lot of money. Okay. So people don't know how difficult the test can be. But again, the test is not that difficult. It is difficult if you book it without knowing what it's like. Okay. And so, as I mentioned before, I think we're talking about that last week also. When it comes to practicing for the test, right? When it comes to practicing for the test, one thing that happens is it's very easy to practice for the listening and the reading part. Okay. Let's say that you think you're ready to you book the test and you go online and you download the book and you start practicing, and then you go and you practice the listening. All right. You can check your score, right? You can check your answers, and then you can actually go ahead and check what score you would get. Okay. And then you can do the same with the reading, right? Someone saying good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good morning from Australia. And then you can do the same with the reading, right? You get the reading and then you start doing the reading. When you finish, you can check your answers and then you can check the score you would get. Okay? You can do that. Then you can do the same with the writing. You check the writing and you practice the writing. But after you finish practice the writing, what do you do with it? You don't know your score, right? You need to get some help, get someone to check it for you. That's when I get the call usually. And people also, they look at the speaking part. And when they look at the speaking part, they will go, what now? How do I do this? I'm going to talk about myself here, but is it right or is it wrong? Okay. So, and then if, let's say, you are not doing that well, you need more work, you don't have that enough time to improve. Okay. You don't have enough time to improve. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why booking the IELTS test last minute. Okay. So having someone tell you, hey, you need a test, and you go and book it and you do it. Okay. It's a terrible idea. And guys, if you have seen some of my lives and you have been following what I have to say concerning the IELTS test, If you fail the first time you try, your confidence goes down, and that might affect your future scores too. Okay. So you should be very careful with that. I'm not going to say you can fail, but again, let's say you need 777 and you got 77, 6.5, 6.5. Not too bad. But what if you need 777 and you get 555 or 666? You're far away from your main goal, and that might lower your confidence. That's why you should be aiming at doing the test maybe only once. Okay. All right. So, so now let's say, so I told you already what some people do. Okay, so all right, you have to do the test. Okay, I book the test and then I go online and then I watch some videos and then I get more confused and okay, I'm gonna try the test, try a practice at home. And then you get something from the internet. And then let's say that you practice the reading and you need a 6 and you check your scores and you got a 6. And you're happy. But should you be really happy? Maybe not, because you don't know if the material is authentic. That's another thing. Okay. I'm always talking to you guys about authentic materials. That's something else that you should be thinking about. Having or working with materials that are authentic. Because if you get something that is too easy and you get a good score in your practice, you're probably going to get a lower score on the day of the test. Okay. All right. So let's say that you get some materials and they are not authentic, and you keep practicing and you get really happy. All right. You have to know whether they are authentic or not. Otherwise, I say that the scores are not really true scores. I was on my students, sometimes we would do different practices, but I'll tell them, I'll say, look, this one is just to practice the strategies. It's not really your real score. And I think that people should be quite aware of that too. Okay. So booking the test last minute. All right. Okay. So what people do and what you shouldn't be doing, basically, right? So people don't know how difficult the test can be. Okay. And they don't know the test. And 2 weeks might not be enough time for you to find out all of these things. Okay. And then let's say that your English is very good, you're very confident, but then you do a practice test and you don't do so well. Does that mean that your English is terrible? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that you don't know how the test works. You don't know the strategies that you need. And that's the problem. Okay. And sometimes, if you just leave it to the last minute, you might not be able to have time to learn the strategies. Even with very good English, sometimes people will get really lost. I always talk about the listening. It's funny because the listening part to me is the easiest part of the test by far. Okay. But some people think it's the hardest because things happen very fast in the listening part, right? So, with the listening part, um, if you are not able to look at the question, I'm thinking about the test on the computer, but it could also be on paper, right? If you can't look at the questions and know what you have to do, it takes you a lot of time to know what you have to do. Okay. And that will lower your score. Okay. When you spend time trying to understand what you have to do, you are actually wasting time. And that is why you should book the test in advance, not last minute, because then you have that time to go ahead and look at the types of question, understand the types of questions, so there are no surprises on the day of the test. Okay, same thing with reading. Is anyone practicing for the IELTS test at the moment? If you are practicing for the IELTS test at the moment, can you please say yes? And I have a question for you. Who's practicing for the IELTS test at the moment? Okay. Oh, if you have questions, guys, feel free to pop the questions in. Okay. And if even pop the questions in, I might not get to them right now, but I'll definitely get to the questions later. People on YouTube, please do the same. Okay, there's people on Instagram and people on YouTube. Okay, so go ahead and just tell me. Okay, so if you're practicing for the IELTS test at the moment, just say yes. Okay, there's a big delay, I think. Yeah, so oops. Yeah, I will keep talking. I'll have a look at the chat here. Okay, so yeah, so most people struggle with the reading part. Why is that? Because it's a lot to read. It's too much to read sometimes. If the topic's boring, oh my god, even worse. Okay, so someone said, I want to start studying for the IELTS test. So we want to start. Okay, so you like to start, but you haven't started yet. Okay, Andre. It's so hard to check people's names on Instagram. so so yeah, so just don't book the test last minute, please. Okay, start in advance is the best thing you can do. Okay, if you haven't started yet. Okay, and then Larissa says yes. Okay, Larissa, have you tried the reading part? If you have tried the reading part, did you finish? Did you manage to finish it? Can you just post it in the comments? Okay, so if you just got here now, my question is, have you started practicing for the IELTS test, or are you practicing for the IELTS test at the moment? And can you finish the reading in 1 hour? That's my question. Okay. And if you can't finish in 1 hour, it's because you don't know the strategies. Okay, guys. And you should be focusing on the strategies. And sometimes 2 weeks. No, Larissa didn't. Yeah, that's expected. Okay, guys. So, yeah. So, that's one thing that you guys should be thinking about. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, so your name, yeah, yeah. Is it Andre or Andre or Andreina? Hmm. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, no, but on Instagram, everyone has some crazy names, different names. All right. So yeah, guys. So I think that that's one of the things. Okay. So people who can finish the reading, for example, they need some strategies, and sometimes it takes you longer. That's what you have to think about, also, guys. Some people, they do one practice test, two practice tests, done, ready to go. Okay. Some people are not. Okay. So some people are not ready. Andreina, ha, I got it. Andreina. Okay. So yeah, so some people are not ready yet. Okay. And to me, I think that, well, that's how I work with my students. We do some practice, we check our scores, we analyze everything, we check what we need to improve, we check what we're doing well, and then we try and we actually, sorry, and then we try again and we see where we're at. And this process will take anywhere from a month to 3 months, depending on your score. Okay. And a few weeks ago, if you joined my live, I was using the board here. I'm not gonna use the board today, I don't think. Maybe last minute, maybe there'll be a question, a final question. Okay, so um a lot of people, they are not honest with themselves. Yeah. they are unrealistic. So I need a 6, okay? And then I did a practice here and a practice there. I got 5, 5.5. But people say, no, I'll do the test anyways. That's not a good idea, guys. Not a good idea. Okay. And again, basically, you should know how the test works, not the other way around. The test doesn't really fit you. You have to fit the test. And that's why I think that I'm able to help lots of people because I understand the test quite well. I know exactly what you need to do. I know exactly what they expect from you. Okay. So instead of you trying to think about it, okay, you need guidance. You need to get someone who really knows how the test works and are able to guide you. Okay. And it's funny because in my course, my students, they have to record everything they do, right? They do a practice test, they record and all of that. And when they look at their scores, the scores they have been getting, it doesn't make a lot of sense to them, but it does to me as a teacher. I look at it and know exactly what you guys need, which is very interesting, and that's why looking for guidance is important. But again, guys, sending me a message 2 weeks before the test is not going to help you. Okay. I'm very good at solving your problems, but 2 weeks might not be enough time. Okay. So that's why I'm here today. Okay. Because, guys, I don't want you wasting money. I don't want you wasting money. Okay. I've seen people do the test 10 times. $400, $4,000 on tests. That's not possible. Okay. That's not ideal. No one should be doing this, in my opinion. No one. Okay. So so that's one of the things. Okay. Guys, pop some questions in there when you're ready. Okay. So today we're talking about you have 2 weeks left to do the IELTS test. What do you do? Actually, what you shouldn't be doing. Okay. You can pop some questions in. Okay. If you are ready to pop any questions in there, I'm going to get some water. Yeah. So, okay. And again, some people, they think 2 weeks is enough. Okay. But I would recommend anywhere from 1 month to 3 months. So if you're watching me now and you haven't really started studying, start now. The earlier you start, the better. Okay. Because then you know exactly what you have to do, where you're at. Okay. Because as I said before, some people, they are not ready. They know the scores they're getting, they know their level, and they know the score they need. Okay. So what happens is your level is, I don't know, B2. You're doing the test, you're getting B1, but you need C1. Okay. So being honest with yourself also helps. Okay. Okay. Question here. How could I improve my speaking skills for the Duolingo exam? Okay. Without help. Good question. Okay. So, I don't know the Duolingo exam very well. Okay. I've tried it before. I've done some workshops on it. But I think that maybe I don't know where you are in the world. Okay. But I always feel that if you want to improve your speaking skills, okay, you should analyze the exam, of course, and check what the exam is like. But one thing that always helps is just practicing speaking in general. Okay. I think that when people are doing exams, sometimes people focus so much on the exam, and that might actually not help you progress with the language. Okay. So actually, this goes to any exam. Okay. So if I have some students that I'm helping for the IELTS test and maybe they are not improving their speaking, let's say, for the IELTS test, what I would recommend is doing different things in English. Yeah. Because as I said before, Duolingo is an English exam. The IELTS test is an English exam. The TOEFL is an English exam. If you don't improve your English, you're not gonna get the score you need. Okay. So I think that you should be maybe doing things in English. And then if you improve your English, you can basically do any test you want. That's it. Any test you want. Okay, I hope that helped. Okay, but improving speaking without help can be difficult because you need someone to talk to. You can talk by yourself, of course, but not all the time. I think that actually work talking to yourself works really well. However, sometime in the future, it'd be nice to have someone actually listening to you and making sure that they understand you. Okay. So that's what I would recommend. Okay. Someone saying hello, hello. Okay. Any other questions, guys, about that? I'm going to wrap up. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys what we talked about today, and you can pop in your final questions. All right. Can pop in your final questions. All right. So today we are talking about you guys have 2 weeks to do the exam. What do you do? Oh, someone said that has been my strategy. Talking to yourself. That's great. Yeah. I have to be honest, as if you know me, you know that I studied English in Brazil. I improved my English. I learned English in Brazil, not abroad. I improved my English abroad, but I learned English in Brazil. And there wasn't a lot of people to talk to, you know, but I usually talk to myself, and that worked. But one thing I noticed was that after I started, every time I talked to people, I was making some grammar mistakes that I wasn't aware of because I was just talking to myself. So I was actually quite fluent. I was confident because I was like talking in my head. But when I started talking to people, people whose level was higher, or even my English teachers, I would make some grammar mistakes when I was learning. Okay, so that's the problem of studying by yourself. Okay. And again, guys, I think we should do things by ourselves, but it's also nice doing things in group also. And I can say that based on my course. Yeah. The community is very important and you can push each other. And that's good too. All right. Okay. Okay. So keep popping questions in if you have any more questions. Okay. So recap. So today we're talking about you have to do the IELTS test. You have 2 weeks. What you're doing wrong. Okay, so I do think that booking the test, okay, for 2 weeks when you're not ready, when you don't know how the test works, is a big mistake. Okay, and I think that people should be more aware of their level. Okay, their level, and where they are, where they need to be. That's the first step, definitely. Okay, understanding how the test works, because on the day of the test you don't want to be thinking about what you have to do. Okay, no way. Also, strategies. Okay, how to do the test. Okay, working with authentic materials. Okay, and just think about it, guys. If you want to do it by yourselves, how long is it going to take you to get all this information? Okay, if you get someone's help, it's really straightforward. Okay, and like I just said before, okay, instead of you spending all your time trying to understand the IELTS test, I've done it. Okay, I know how the test works. So we have to think about saving time and saving money. Okay, if you ask for help, you'll be saving time because someone will tell you what you have to do. Okay, if you do the test when you're ready, you're saving money. So you see? And again, guys, I'm sharing this with you because that's what I see over and over again. Okay, I see this so many times. Okay, so people just, oh, Fabi, I'm gonna do the test in 2 weeks. I was like, okay. And unfortunately, these people, they keep studying with me for a while. But the problem is, if they don't pass, if they don't get the score they need, their confidence will go down and that will affect their progress in the future. Okay. All right. Any final questions for me, guys? Any final questions? No? Today was a quiet one. Maybe I explained myself really well today. Any other questions? No? All right, cool. I'm going to go. I'll be back on Thursday. Okay. Maybe you're going to do feedback day. Okay, feedback day. And I'm going to interview someone. So we're going to do a speaking test live here. All right. Good, good. Okay. So if you have any other questions, you can send me a message, okay, on Instagram, and I will reply to you. All right. Okay. See you around. Bye.